Hi everybody, it's Suzanne Culberg, and I'm super excited today to be joined by Jenny. Jenny is a joyful living and soul purpose coach and an EFT practitioner, and she helps spiritually oriented women break emotional and thought patterns that made them feel trapped and held back in life. And she helps them remove the hidden blocks and heal at all levels in natural ways so they can feel nurtured, re-energized and free to move forward. So welcome, Jenny.
Thank you so much, Suzanne.
Thank you. So Jenny and I connected in an online coaching and business group. And what we found when we were chatting is that we share the same passion to help, spiritually oriented women break out of these patterns of behaviors and these emotional patterns that they may be stuck in to help them live fully in life. So I invited Jenny along today to have a chat about this. And I love the work that you do, how it goes beyond the surface, like we all know what to do on the surface, but we have this stuff going underneath, these underlying issues. And
Yes.
I think you call them hidden blocks at the root levels. So I'd love it if you can share with us today about your journey and how you came to do this work that you do.
Oh yeah, thank you so much. Just like you said, we connected in the group, but at the beginning we didn't know our work has any overlapping, area, right? Until we found, oh, this is like not, just about the issues on the surface. So yeah, I love to share my journey. When I was a child, I was like, always seeking for something. I just felt like something was missing, and I was angry about, not being able to myself. So I just, growing up with that always there. And I, pursued the society value to be good girl, to do well, to, work in the corporate finally as a career coach, consultant, always trying hard, push hard, until, many years later, I realized, yeah, I am kind of doing well now. I, thought I found my answer to be happy and fulfilled, but I am still not. And I found all these, people I help with, not really all of them had that, the power, the external appearance, everything. They could look well, but inside, they don't feel happy, even less happier, less fulfilled. So I was confused. And then, suddenly my life went upside down. Because I was asking, what's my next now? I lost passion. I don't know what to do next. And then, I just got stuck in those areas. So staying there in the stagnant place, I will call this negative state, for a long time. I don't know how to get out, just feel so stuck until finally I had to find some tools to help myself to come out. And then transformational journey, I came out. I knew this was my purpose. I came out to serve others. And, I realized the work I finally, helped myself, it was really going deeper and deeper. I was guided. I had no ideas how many layers it could be, actually in all different areas. So that's why I got myself certified and transferred to the new field, doing the work I do now. And now I connected with you. We are here.
I know.
Yeah.
So just to clarify, in the beginning, you were working in corporate.
Yes.
And were you looking for help for yourself because you were feeling these feelings? When did you make the decision to go, oh, like this is my calling. I want to transition to help others with this?
Yeah, I bet, it's not only my experience, many of us, right, went through our own experiences that were painful, right? And I just was so stuck. I could not figure out a way to come out. So I was like, I'm sick and tired of, like living this life anymore. I really don't want it. So I have to, make my mind, I'm determined. So I learned finally, like for doing this, making it happen, what can I do? And then when you set up your mind and that's where you want to go, And amazing things happen, right? The resources start to come to you, and now you know this is the right thing for me to learn and do and study, and got certification. And when you finally get out, you feel like, oh, it's like, you know, such a big relief. That's possible. You can get
Exactly.
unstuck, and you can come out relying with your true self. Especially, I want to say this. Finally, I feel like I am aligned with who I am. That was the answer for my seeking. Who really I am and what I am come here to do in this lifetime. So now I know this is what I need to do, because I came from there. I knew the pain, and now I have the tools. I need to share. It's too selfish. You hold it with yourself. So you just need to bring it out to share. I bet, you know, you had kind of, you know, your story journey as well.
I love it. I can really feel the passion and the excitement and the exuberance to share. And
Yeah.
having gone through the own journey, I think there's so much more power to that. One of my coaches said once, your mess is your message. And I was like, yes, I totally get that, because you've got this lived experience and you've moved your way through it, and you can be like this lighthouse for others. So
Yes.
I'm really interested in your work helping clients, like, you know, to break these patterns at the root levels, because obviously before you start to do all this work, you don't really understand the root levels, and like all you know is your symptoms. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes,
So
so true.
I'd really like you to talk about, like, if you've got some cases, because you and I have talked previously before we had this call, hence we decided to make it, about how often you would help people with, you know, anxiety, with stress. That's what they come to you for, because, you know, you've had that corporate experience and perhaps they're in that at the moment. And when you're helping them with that anxiety and stress, the unexpected results is
Yes.
often dropping weight, releasing the eating disorders. Like, can you share with us more about how this works? Because I'm really
Oh,
passionate about this as
yeah.
well.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for asking this. Yeah, that's why actually, you know, we both finally started to really click. I said, oh, I do something I didn't expect. So this is what happened. Quite some people, you know, women especially, came to me, you know, yeah, let me work on stress, anxiety, or depression first. These are my priorities right now. I have to, you know, come out from that. I also have, you know, eating or whatever body heaviness issue. That's not my priorities now. So that's what they said. I said, oh, okay. So we just started. And that's what actually I realized when I started to do my healing work. Just was certified as an EFT practitioner. I thought, okay, I am going to focusing on anxiety, fear, or whatever, you know. So I decided my, you know, area of the field of my work, you know, but it didn't go that way. So when people started, we, you know, let go of the top, you know, surface level, top layers of the, you know, stuck feelings and energies, and then we have to go, you know, tracing the patterns, going back to the, you know, childhood or whatever, even family, tribe, those kind of things. And layers by layers always went that way. People had no
Mm.
ideas. I'm very positive, I'm this, I'm that, you know, so, but they are still there because they are hidden at subconscious mind, and you don't know they are there, just like my own experience. So we worked and worked. One example, one lady, after a couple of months, you know, we did on her stress. When she came, she was almost like shaking all the time. She just cannot get off guard, you know,
Mm.
so on the guard all the time. And she kept asking me, Jenny, when you start your group session on weight loss, please do let me know. I really need to go to, you know, join that class. I said, sure. So then, you know, that's January, you know. So I said, hey, you know, Mary, yeah, I'm gonna start that course very soon. You know, are you ready to join? Guess what she said?
She'd already dropped weight?
Jenny, I don't need to join that class anymore. I said, what? Because, you know, at that point, I was done the work with her for like a month or so, and I haven't seen her. She said, you don't see me now. I lost 15 pounds. Wow.
Wow.
So that was really my first time, really like, being amazed by this kind of tool and the subconscious mind energy clearing work I have done. I knew she told me, because when I release the stress, pattern, I don't need to eat to soothe myself, because I realized
Yes.
that's my pattern, right? So by eating the food, I swallowing down my emotions. And sugar bars or so made me feel a bit sweet in my life because I just didn't have that as a child. So something like that. And also, of course, because they just keep pushing in their life, trying hard, finally they overdrafted their energy to use tomorrow's energy, do the work today, because they are just exhausted but still pushing. So finally, those kind of adrenal exhaustion symptoms also need them, to take sugar to, supply their energy level, things like
Yep.
that. So many different layers. Also, some people maybe have their family pattern, siblings, mother also live like that, heavy body, heaviness in body and image, everything. And one lady told me, I had to bring some snack with me all the time. I just found this pattern. And then we, did more work, and she said, I just felt like, the belief was inside. It's like, I just need to grab something so that I won't be hungry, because that was the
Yes.
tried patterns in the past, or even by generations before it happened, and still passed on by generations. So that's why, we both, I think, we talk about that. We were so amazed. And also, you use your tools. I use my EFT is my major tool. I also use some others, chakra, whatever, energy healing. So we knew we just need to track those patterns and follow our Tuesday energy and just let it go, release and release. And finally, just the day before, no, last weekend, almost Friday, yeah. And one client, suddenly after the session, she hated her body because of the criticism from her mother when she was young. She just, like we just did the work and clear, some events got stuck there. She just still remember, see it in her subconscious mind all the time. And finally, by the end, she felt like, wow, I just felt like so light and free. So I could eat until I hurt myself before. Always like that, because it's like self-punishment, something like that.
Yes.
So yeah, so many cases, but I think I already, shared quite some.
No,
Timing
these are
is
great.
limited. Yeah. So yeah, that kind of things.
Yeah. And what I want to pick out from what you just said there, like what really stood out for me is it could be inherited, like familial, like because we learn a lot from as children from observing. So if our parents, our older siblings, our grandparents carry out these patterns, we just do them because that's what we learn. And then also, you mentioned, like, it's the subconscious. If you repress something and suppress it, like shove it down with food, you're not aware of it. So often, as you said, people come with the stress or the anxiety because that's the thing that's in their conscious mind. Oh, I'm not sleeping so well, or I'm really stressed. And that will lead into what I want to ask about currently with the current world climate and what we're seeing with people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but like when you have this and you're not aware of it, we don't make that conscious connection. So I really love that these examples of, like, I came with this, and then these are all these like other added benefits I wasn't expecting. So I could talk to you all day, but I'm wary of time and people watching this.
So
but
true.
I do want to ask, in the time that we're filming this, there's like the pandemic happening, and many people are experiencing some tough stuff, like individually, globally, all that sort of stuff. And they can feel really kind of lost and confused, and often get triggered back into these old behaviors, like these things that they thought that they'd moved through, or, and I love how you talk about the layers. And so past patterns like the binge eating, the overeating, the stress eating, those sort of things can be popping back up for people. So can you share some tips about how they can start to deal with that, you know, with what's going on right now, so they can, you know, feel like they're making progress?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for mentioning this. I bet, you experience the same thing with your clients, people you serve. And under this situation, it's really hard, very, very challenging, especially when you are given all these kind of free time, but cannot, really do a lot of things. And then in the house, that's the good time. And feeling bad, because it's uncertain, it's scary, it's this, and got triggered a lot of old stuff. And for sure, just not even knowing, just grab and grab. I heard many people mention this already. So I love what you said just now, the awareness. So now when we start to hear those real stories and understand, there could be those kind of subconscious layers of feelings and thoughts and beliefs. At least the first step, can I just share that? Stop judging, because a lot of people who are so trapped there, right? And just like me, when I was stuck in those states, I judged myself. I thought I'm a positive person. I worked as, a coach, whatever, to help others, Now what? So what's wrong with me? So that kind of thing. And the more you judge yourself, the more you're fighting with yourself. I usually, try to push that away. And now when I do this work, I realize where you can push yourself away, because that's part of you. So, it's like when you try to push yourself away, you're fighting inside. When you
Yes.
are fighting, when you have that internal battle going on, actually it consumes you a lot of energy, healthy energy.
Yes.
Otherwise, you can use those energy for, taking actions, or even you don't take actions, at least you could enjoy, music, movie, or whatever, nature, your pets, animals, children, right? But now, because you're fighting all the time and you don't know you're fighting inside, you're torn inside. And then you are exhausted. You cannot do things. You cannot take care of the family. And you even feel, more upset about yourself. It goes to the rabbit hole there, just going down. So first step is really to stop judging and honor your feelings instead of, repressing. Really,
Yeah. Can I
when you
jump in there and
repress,
ask another question?
yeah,
Because you're raising an excellent point, and I'd love to hear your take on this, because this is something similar I work with too. When I have this conversation, like stop judging, awareness, all this sort of stuff, often people say to me, but if I don't have that judgment, or if I'm not hard on myself, how will I still have the drive to want to make changes? So I'd love to
oh,
hear your take on this.
that's a great question. That's a great question. Yes, it's hard. But the point I like to make here is that, this our logical mind actually doesn't really resolve emotional issues. They think by judging, by pushing them hard, they could do something to like change it by their own control. But actually it's not, because it's just disconnected. The feeling is here in the right hemisphere, emotional mind. Our head is here at the left side, analyzing, working, thinking, right? And do this, do that. But it's still disconnected, even though you try hard. So the
Yes.
only way is to really reach there, reach those feelings also who carry energies. We have to reach there, honor that, feel them, maybe a little bit uncomfortable, but now we have tools, right? You have many of your tools, I know. And then, you use tools to honor yourself, honor your feelings, feel them, so that they are heard. They are just like children inside, your inner child inside, so that they feel heard, understood, and supported, and then they feel loved. And then
I
they'll
love
go.
that.
Yeah, and then they'll go just like, honey, I know it's hard. You can cry. If I were you, I will cry too. It's okay. So the little girl felt like she was heard, loved. And next moment, because it's released, next moment, she went to the playground to play again. That's how we need to treat our best friend and the dearest child inside of us, which is ourselves.
Yes, that's
Hope
beautiful. And I
I
really
hope
can
I answer your
appreciate that.
question. Yeah.
That's great. And it reminds me, oh, because I've got the children, I have to keep muting
Yes.
myself as Jenny's talking because my kids are literally just outside here. They're playing, but sometimes they get loud. And it's like that if you ignore them and they're trying to get your attention, they just get louder and louder and louder. And our
Yeah.
emotions can be like that too. And then we just have to eat more and more and more to shove them down. But I love how you say if you give them that bit of attention, then they can feel heard and acknowledged and seen and then go and play. And it's totally like that. I hadn't heard it described quite like that, but I totally love it.
Oh, yes.
So before we wrap up, I'd love to know if you can share with us, for those who are interested, what services that you offer right now.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I offer, the group and one-on-one sessions to help people break their patterns so that they could set free. So I have an online, Soulful Women's Circle. We will meet like monthly to do some demonstration gathering together, understand support. And then, group sessions with 6 people together as the maximum size, because I want to support all of them, do healing and coaching, remove layers. We share the benefits of, we call them borrowing benefits. So I work with one person, doing the demonstration, the other person, even though I'm not working on theirs, but it's the similar emotional stuff or
Yes.
thought patterns, they get benefits as well. And then, one-on-one session. So what usually I recommend, it's the combination of group session, one-on-one, and do self-healing, self-tapping. I use EFT. I teach them how to do it by themselves because it's easy to learn. Just follow the truth. Learn to listen to yourself. So that kind of the combination, it's really powerful and very effective. So
I love
that's,
it.
I will, post some information how
Yep,
to
I'll pop
add
Jenny's
in
links in the
this.
video. Just one more question before we wrap
Yes,
up. I
sure.
can't believe how fast this has gone. It's been great.
Yes, sure.
When we were talking one-on-one, you mentioned you had like a 4-step work. Can you
Oh,
talk?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for mentioning that. Yeah, that's the step, the system I developed back to, almost like one decade of time. I am a system person. I love things go, simple way to the root. So use the discover, release, and shift, and then finally move forward. So I will check with them, or especially because I do kind of energy, I call them myself energy engineer. So at the
I love
beginning,
it.
at the beginning, I will work with them, have an energy, type check, so that we know where it's blocking, but where is the place they really want to do, because they don't know, they didn't set up intention about where they want to go. They are stuck in this place. Oh, what I don't want, what I want to lose weight. It's always focusing there, but we now need to focus there, staring at the destiny point. That's where I want to go. So I am here, I'm stuck. Now what I need to do? So release what doesn't need to be here. And then we shift, we bridge the gap and move one step at a time and moving forward until day by day, weeks by weeks, then we just move there until finally we reach there. And it's possible, very, very powerful. And, I know you and me, we have all these passion to support because we know we can make the changes for us and feel free enjoy and fulfilled, especially.
I love it. Thank you so much. So what I'll do
Thank
is
you.
I've got the links for your socials, your website, and I'll pop them all below, and people can, I think if you also give me a link, people, if they want to book in and have a chat, because I think it's, you know, powerful if you have a chat beforehand to say, oh, is it group better? Is one-on-one better? Like, what's the best next steps for me?
Oh, yeah,
But I
yeah, yeah.
really love how in rhythm, in concept, like different terminology, but it's the same journey. And I think
Yes, that's
what's
why. Yes,
really
yes, I'm sorry.
powerful, you know, you're right, for all the listeners is, you know, as long as you get there in what way works for you. So sometimes, you know, I might describe something, or Jenny might describe something, or even someone else, and it doesn't quite land, but someone gives it a different phrase. Like I loved how you described the inner child, and the, you know, giving them attention, the emotions, that really stood out for me. So I think, you know,
Yeah, that's why when we started to talk, I felt like, yeah, really connected. We need to, talk, and we have this conversation today. Oh yeah, by the way, book a private talk, I could, give some clarity or whatever I forgot to mention. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I really love it also, really appreciate your great questions.
thank you. And if anyone's
Yeah.
got any questions for Jenny, please post them below the video. You can just put hashtag replay, or you can just tag her. And if I see it and she doesn't notice, I'll get it to come across, because we're really open to feedback and questions, and that helps, you know, us grow as facilitators and us be able to answer any questions that you have, so you can move forward too. So thanks,
Yes.
Jenny. Thanks everybody
Thank
for
you so much,
watching.
Suzanne. Yes.
I'll
Yeah.
talk to you soon.
Thank you
Bye.
also. Oh, thank you all. Bye.